Hey guys, it's me, Lympho Mama again. Today we're going to talk about what to do before the hospital. I cannot stress enough how you should try to be organized because, at least with me, when I'm not organized, I'm stressed. Okay, the very first thing, if there's any way that you can get a handicap placard, am I saying that right? The little thing you hang on your rear view mirror. If you can get one, wow, do that. I can do a whole video on the trials and tribulations of how we got this handicap parking pass. And please, in the comments below, if you want to say, hey, could you tell me, how did you get that from your doctor? Or can you do a video on nausea medicines, how it affected your daughter? Let me know. I'll read those comments and then I'll make a video about it. So anyway, getting back to this handicap placard, it was really a good thing for us because the hospital had so many levels of parking and my daughter could not walk. It was a godsend and we got it for 6 months. It was worth everything we had to do to get it. Okay, so another thing is to know your routes beforehand. Before you're going to be going to the hospital, I actually picked the hospital we were going to go to because I knew it had more routes. We could have gone to one in Fairfax or we could have gone to one in DC. But I said, I want to go to DC because there's many different ways of getting there. Okay, so study your routes, get the Waze app on your smartphone if you have a smartphone. It was a godsend to me. And also about traveling, know what things are happening in your area that can maybe prevent you getting to your appointment on time. For me, we live near Washington, D.C., and I had to go right by the baseball, the Nationals baseball field. So I went on a calendar and I looked, what days are the Nationals playing in DC? And I was well aware, we're going at this time. And it really is very crucial. I can't stress this enough because my daughter got neutropenia and she had only an hour to get to the hospital. And I looked on my calendar. There's no game today. We can go this way to the hospital. Know what food deliveries they have at the hospital. There were times when I didn't have enough energy to pack a dinner. And I talked to the nurses that Grubhub delivered, but also know where to pick up the Grubhub. I was told it was by the emergency center and I went there and the guy never showed up. He didn't know where to go. And it was very frustrating. We had to reorder and you don't want that. Get all the information up front. Okay, again, this is about what to do beforehand. We touched on it before. I'm sorry to be repetitive, but next door neighbor, that can help you if you need help with, if you have pets. Okay, so you have a next door neighbor app, if you can do that, is great. Get a filing system. And I know people like to work on their smartphones and type, and that's great, but you're going to be asked to be in some trials, and there's all this paperwork, and then you're going to be getting your blood test results each time after chemo. You need a filing system to keep this in, okay? At least I do. Again, we talked about the calendar. We've talked about a pocketbook. Get all this before you go to the hospital. Sign up for the Karen Bridge. You don't have to start on it right away. I didn't start until probably 2 months in. But get that done beforehand. Read up on cancer treatment. This is something, okay, as a mom, all I wanted to do was take care of my daughter. But my husband, he was online all the time reading things. So let somebody in your household read up about the cancer that your child has, read up on the treatments, just so you are a few steps ahead of your doctor in what you know. Find out beforehand, before you start the chemo, what are my options if I have nausea? There's great medicine out there. There's Zofran, there's Ativan. Again, I could talk about these medicines, how it affected my daughter. Let me know if you want me to. But ask your doctor, what are you going to give my child for nausea? Because guess what? Our doctor barely gave Lena anything. And the very first night that we came home, she was home for 2 hours, and guess what? We had to go back to the hospital, go through the emergency, and she had to stay in the hospital 2 days because she was barely given any nausea medicine. Okay. What to buy? Oh, I forgot to bring this out. I was going to show you the sample, but ask the doctor, how do I prevent mouth sores? I will actually put this name in the comments for you. But it's so important with chemo, you're going to get mouth sores and try to prevent that. And they had something in the hospital that worked great. I could not find it anywhere. So every time I went back to the chemo ward, I went to the nurse's station and I got 2 or 3 of them. And my daughter was very proud. She never, ever got one mouth sore. Know about the port. I'm sorry that I keep on referring to this, but I want to make sure I'm telling you everything. Research what a port is before your daughter gets the port. I never knew what a port was. And even though the doctor explained it to me with a little doll and they opened the little skin and put the port in, I still was so confused. So research on your own. What is a port? What are the side effects of getting a port? What can go wrong with getting a port? Just so you know, so that when something happens, you're not frazzled. We had a few things happen that I'll talk about, but I wasn't frazzled because I knew that it could happen and what I needed to do to help the situation. And the port was an absolute wonderful thing. You're going to read pros and cons for it. It was great. So I hope this video has helped you to get organized of what to do to prepare before you even start chemo.